MIKAYLA may have accidentally revealed something about her relationship timeline, but the bigger problem is what happened after people started asking questions. Because suddenly, this wasn't just about Zach moving in. It became a much bigger fight over who gets to control MIKAYLA's story. It started with one tiny comment. MIKAYLA announced that her boyfriend Zach had moved in with her, and when someone told her to slow down because they had just started dating, she replied, "It's been a year, LOL." That sounds harmless on its own, but fans immediately started doing the math. The reason? Around a year earlier, MIKAYLA had posted about her relationship with Cody, describing them as stronger than ever after making it through a difficult period together. So when MIKAYLA now said she'd been with Zach for a year, people were left wondering what exactly she meant. Was she referring to her relationship with Zach? Was she talking about being separated from Cody? Or was the comment simply being interpreted differently than she intended? There's no verified answer that settles the timeline completely, but that's almost beside the point now. Once audiences start comparing old posts with new ones, every explanation gets examined under a microscope. And MIKAYLA seemed to know that, because she immediately started giving people more context. When people criticized her for moving too quickly with Zach, she didn't exactly ignore them. She explained that she and Zach have a 10-year history, and insisted that outsiders don't know everything about their relationship. She also pushed back against people calling her Zach's provider.
We are celebrating the fact that me and my boyfriend Zach have officially moved in together. We're starting the next chapter together, and I am so excited. Listen, I am fully aware that people are going to have opinions about this. I don't care. I am so in love with this man. Listen, Zach and I have a 10-year history. He is absolutely my person. It's easy to judge something you know nothing about. Obviously, moving in is a pretty significant step. And typically that would mean there's intention of like marriage and all that shit. But as someone who just got divorced like last week, I can tell you right now, I'm not thinking about that anytime soon. Also, I literally cannot stand the comments calling me Zach's provider. Like, what the fuck is that? Why do people assume that he doesn't have a job? That's weird. What, you think I would date someone who doesn't have a job and sits on their ass all day? Like, no. That man never lets me pay for shit. I just don't really get why, because I have money, you assume that I pay for everything. Like, why are we making that assumption? I don't get it. I also hate that it's like all women making these comments. They're like bothered that I'm the breadwinner. Don't you want to be a fucking breadwinner, bitch? Don't you want to get there too? Like, women can be fucking successful. Like the mindset that the guy has to be the breadwinner. What the fuck is that? I've accepted that no matter who I'm dating, y'all are gonna say they're using me for money. Like, friends, everyone. Like, it is literally the most annoying thing in the world. Ultimately, the opinion of the internet does not matter, and you literally see the smallest fraction of my life.
Arguing that having more money than your partner doesn't automatically mean you're supporting them financially. That response is important because MIKAYLA wasn't just defending Zach. She was defending the entire logic behind the relationship. The message was essentially, you are seeing a tiny fraction of our lives, so you don't have enough information to judge what we're doing. And that's where the bigger pattern starts to appear. Whenever the audience questioned the decision, MIKAYLA supplied more context about why the audience shouldn't question it. But then, the same thing happened in a completely different part of her life. This time, it wasn't a relationship. It was makeup. MIKAYLA posted a review of a CoverGirl product and complained that it wasn't working for her as a cheek product. She said it was removing her foundation instead of giving her the pigment she expected.
Fucking sick. Like, I am gooped and gagged over this frickin' packaging. How cool are these? I can't wait to try this. This is CoverGirl Yummy Big Oil. This is that like jelly, like really weird texture. I mean, I don't really like products like this, if I'm being honest. I think it's so gimmicky. Yeah, no. This is literally just taking off my foundation and doing absolutely nothing. Like literally nothing. Let me try another one. I hate these. I hate them. All that did was remove my foundation.
Whatever you think of the review itself, this could have been an ordinary beauty creator moment. Creator tries product, creator doesn't like product, internet moves on. Except CoverGirl responded. The brand explained that the product was designed as a lip oil and emphasized that it was meant to be used on the lips. That turned a negative product review into a public back and forth between a major beauty brand and one of the biggest personalities in beauty content. And then viewers started investigating the product's promotional language themselves. Some people pointed to material that appeared to describe it as a lip and cheek product, while others disputed those examples and claimed some images circulating online were AI-generated. Other creators even went looking for the product in stores to see how it was actually being displayed. The important part isn't deciding who's right about every screenshot.
Yeah, no. This is literally just taking off my foundation and doing absolutely fucking nothing.
You know I had to chime in on the lip oil CoverGirl controversy. I'm at Walmart right now. They actually have the product. Let's take a look and see what the real tea is. This is what it is. It is a jumbo big lip oil. Y'all thought I was gonna go against what Mikayla said, but listen, I get it. Jumbo lip and cheek oil stick. You get to the display, jumbo lip oil stick, sheer tint, dewy. I have them right here. Let me check out.
It's that the internet had suddenly turned a makeup review into another credibility debate. And according to the transcript, Mikayla later deleted CoverGirl's response from her comment section, while the brand's own video response remained online. That creates a completely different problem, because once a creator is publicly corrected by a brand, the audience isn't only judging the original mistake anymore, they're judging the reaction to being corrected. And that brings us back to the same issue surrounding her relationship: context, credibility, and control. But just when the conversation was becoming another internet pile-on, Mikayla changed the subject entirely. She started talking about how badly the online criticism was affecting her. Mikayla said she had been deeply depressed and described the current treatment she was receiving online as some of the worst hate she'd experienced.
I've been so depressed lately because of the way people are treating me online. It has just gotten the worst it has ever been. This is what happens. Empty fridge, like I eat like shit, I'm not taking care of myself right now, and I need to turn that shit around. I understand people have opinions of me, but people are treating me like I deserve to fucking off myself on a bridge. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna turn this shit around because when have I ever let the internet win?
She also pushed back against people who questioned how she could struggle with depression while living a financially comfortable life. Her point was straightforward. Money can make life more comfortable without automatically eliminating someone's emotional struggles. That's her personal experience, and it shouldn't be treated as evidence for or against any of the controversies surrounding her. But strategically, it changed the conversation. Suddenly, people were just debating whether Mikayla's timeline made sense or whether she handled a product review badly. They were debating whether the criticism itself had become excessive. That's a major shift, because the original question was, what happened? Now the question became, how should we treat Mikayla because of what happened? And then she posted something that made the shift even more interesting. Mikayla shared a list of things she felt she was owed for the rest of her 20s. Among them were grace for past mistakes, another chance at a healthy marriage, family members showing that they care, better relationships with her siblings, people showing up for her the way she shows up for them, control over her health, and a better relationship with food. Notice what happened there. The story suddenly became much bigger than Zach. It wasn't simply about a new boyfriend or an old relationship. Mikayla was publicly describing an entire next chapter of her life, what she wanted from relationships, family, health, and herself. And we don't need to speculate about what happened privately to understand why that matters. She's telling the audience directly what she feels she's missing and what she wants going forward. That's why the most interesting part of this entire situation may not be whether Mikayla accidentally revealed a dating timeline. It may be that she's trying to redefine the story around herself before the internet defines it for her. When people question Zach, she explains the history. When people question the relationship speed, she explains why outsiders don't understand it. When a brand challenges her product review, the conversation becomes another debate about context. And when the criticism becomes overwhelming, the focus shifts toward the impact that criticism is having on her. None of that proves that Mikayla is deliberately manipulating the narrative. We can't know her private intentions, but it does show a consistent public pattern. She's increasingly explaining the context behind decisions that viewers are already judging. And there's a catch. The more context you give the internet, the more material you give the internet to analyze. That's the paradox Mikayla seems to be facing right now. Staying silent leaves people to create their own explanations. Explaining yourself gives them even more details to dissect. So the real question isn't whether Mikayla is the victim or the villain in this situation. It's whether she's actually gaining control of her story by explaining herself, or accidentally creating even more stories for everyone else to debate. Because right now, the internet isn't just watching what MIKAYLA does, it's watching how she responds when people don't like what she does. And that might be the part of this entire saga that's hardest to control.